Welcome back to the ICEMAN Trade Recap. My name is Alberto, and I am taking you behind the scenes on a Tesla trade I recently took and called out on Discord. The first thing you're going to notice is at 5:54 a.m. on Friday, I'm telling everybody what I'm looking at. So if you're subscribed, you'll get my notifications. And here are the setups. I literally give you the setups of what I'm looking for. So in Tesla's case, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for price to come back to 336 and then pump up to 343. Well, not only did it do the 343 and some, I'm going to show you, but I didn't take this move up here. I waited for it to retrace back, nor did I take the trade to the downside. So essentially, I could have taken 3 different trades on Tesla, but I only took one because of the discipline that I have, and this was the setup. So that was what I was looking at before the bell opened. The results of it was I ended up taking one contract. Now, I took one contract because I was on the call with one of my mentorship students and I was unable to watch the trade the entire time. So I wanted to make sure I properly had proper risk management. So I took one contract, I bought it at 190 at 8:30 in the morning, and then sold it at 410. I bought the 337 and a half contracts. Now, I will tell you one of the biggest things that I see that people make a mistake on is they do not allow trades to play out. And that is because they go too big with position size. I can go with one contract and let them go. I can go with 10 contracts and let them go. I've got trade recap videos where I have 100 contracts and I let them go. So there's various ways that you can trade. But the biggest part of all is most people do not know and have never learned how to actually let trades go. So I'm going to show you today how I was able to let this trade go until it hit its destination. You'll see I ended up resulting in 220 bucks. It was cool, nothing crazy, but it was nice to just let it do its thing. And then this was the result. This was the setup. Here it is right here. I'm going to show you in a second now what that looks like and what was happening at there. So let's go into the chart and we'll see what exactly was happening. Now, I told you earlier that the market had 3 different trades. Here's the first one. Market pumps up right here with the window. It pumps up to the upside all the way up here. Now, anybody who was chasing this right here, they got lucky. And anybody who got up here, they got trapped. So one move you could have taken was right at the open, aggressively up this way. And then the other one you could have taken is coming back. You'll notice that my R zone right here, it's right to the penny. Okay, so it got rejected and it came right back. They could not accept above it. So here was the second move you could have taken all the way down. Now, this was the third move, the one that I took. Now, remember, this is the original trade that I had on Discord. So why wouldn't I chase this all the way down? Well, let me show you why. When you are trading, you need an entry. This never gives me an entry. It's just sliding the whole way through. Now, why is that even important? Because if you take the trade and that's the high, and anywhere you take the trade here, you don't know if that's the bottom right here, and you don't know if it's going to start pumping back. You don't know that. You don't have a retracement yet. So it keeps falling. If you decide to get in there, you don't know if that's the bottom. It keeps falling. You don't know if that's the bottom, right? So the problem with chasing a falling knife is you never know where that actual bottom is. So if you decide to get in here, and then at this moment is when it shoots back up, well, then that's when you're left stranded. So there was no entry, but more importantly, the biggest part is it was going counter trend, and this is a pullback. Most people don't understand the difference between a pullback and a reversal. This was not a reversal. Remember, my entry is here. Well, what gave me the entry standpoint here? Well, let's read the chart directly. Here's your low, okay? High, low, high, low, high. Okay, so I'm on an uptrend. In order for me to invalidate the downtrend, I need to in order for me to invalidate the uptrend, I need to basically have some invalidation right here, which as you can see, we do not get. Now I'm looking at this on a 15-minute time frame right now with you, but I look at this on a higher time frame, about a 1 hour or even 4 hour, and it's even clearer. So if I take you to a 1 hour, you'll see it's even clearer, right? The move literally went parabolic. It went from down here, 325, and then all the way up to 341 in one day. Now, I like to look at things whether they're aggressive moves or not. One of the best ways that I do that, I just grab my tool. That's an 81-degree move. Anytime there's a move above 75 degrees, I will not chase that because that needs a pullback. So the next day, this is where the market ended right there. The next day, market opens and continues to going higher, continues having people chasing it. Okay. So that's the reason why I was looking for a move back, because I knew at some point this has to be retraced. Now, if this was going to be the retracement, I was looking for the retracement into this area right here, if the market was going to do that at the open. So that's not what I got. It went all the way up, it came all the way down, and then this is where I got in. Now, let me show you how I ended up taking this from 190 to 410 for 115% ROI. And this is how. Okay, so market comes in right here. Now, a lot of people tend to want to enter the trade right here. I don't have any proof just yet that the buyers are stepping in just yet. Now, I got some information, that's for sure. So what I'm looking for on the very next candle right here is I want to see a higher low forming. So let me take this out of the way for a second. Okay, and let me take this out of the way for you. And you'll see that there's a higher low that's forming right here. And so as we're already holding this area, we come in here, grab some liquidity, get that nice strong buying wick. I'm waiting for this high low. Now, once I enter the trade, okay, so there's right the entry right there. Once I enter the trade, then this is what I'm looking for. Every single candle, I'm just looking for a higher low. And this is the part that people miss the most. All I'm looking for is let me see if I could do this without, there you go. I'm looking for this part right here, okay? There's a high low, a high low, a higher low, okay? Now, we're on an uptrend. I'm fully aware of that. That was a pullback. This would align with the bigger picture. So my destination at this moment, I had from the previous, remember from the morning open, this was my target right here. That was my target originally, but we have already compromised that part. So it was going to go back there. So what I was looking for at this moment now, I was looking at this area right here. Why is that? Because if you know anything about a falling window, a rising window, you understand how a rising window works, which means what used to be acting as a support area has now acted as a potential resistance area. So once we cross through, that became, obviously I have this white line right near this bottom, so that already is taken care of. So once we go through here and we push back down, I'm looking for the actual structure to continue, which it absolutely does. And then it goes over to the second rotation. Now, this is where people get freaked out. They don't let a trade fully play out to its destination. And so you'll see here, it starts to go sideways. If you know anything about market cycles, you had a huge expansion, a huge distribution, and you had this almost immediate expansion over, which tells me that I might be looking for something to the downside come Monday morning, which I will be releasing my video shortly on my morning watch list for tomorrow. But this is how I took this contract from 190 all the way to 410. And if you can do that with one contract, I can tell you, you would be able to do it with 5, with 10, with 100. That's going to be a no-brainer. But ultimately, this is how I have to make sure that I'm always staying calm with trades, is risk management and setups. You have to have your setup every single day way before you come to the market. So if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, be sure, because I'm giving you my weekly watch list. I'm giving you trade recaps. These are real trades that I'm taking live in my channel. If you're not subscribed to the Discord channel, look at my bio. It is all there. And then I will be releasing some more tickers that I'll be watching this upcoming week as well. Take care.